attendees. Awarded diplomas in architectural and mechanical engineering. Certification in avionics.
Hi, sir. I will see you next week.
All right.
And
I look good.
United States Air Force. Diploma in film.
Well, one of us does.
Production and performance.
Take care, man.
Winner of the Good Citizenship Award from the Daughters of the American Revolution. And an all-around good egg.
Good morning, everybody. Looks like the Facebook people are really popping on quite a bit. And a good morning to everybody. I can't believe there's so many people up at this hour. It's 8 o'clock in the morning here in Las Vegas time. 9, 10, 11, what is 11 o'clock on the East Coast. Many people out there on the East Coast are jumping on there. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Hope you're enjoying the day. Today is a Saturday, and if you were listening previously, I briefly had a little chit-chat with Tony, the gentleman before, on Battleborn Barbecue, and a lot of interesting things happened to me this morning. I was like, first off, I had criminal actions. Second off, I was morally violated, if you want to call it morally violated, or insulted. Actually, it wasn't an insult. It was shocking for an old man to see, to be honest with you, so early in the morning. God, I couldn't believe it. It's 93 degrees on the outside here in Las Vegas. So how do I want to start this day off? I had a lot of things that I was going to do, but I think what I should do is talk a little bit about the moral violation that happened to me this morning coming in. And I was doing my normal routine, drove down here, had a beautiful day, looking at the sunshine, doing road rage, yelling at people that were like in my way that couldn't drive right, and that kind of thing. So, very interesting. So, as I pull onto the UNLV campus, and I park in a special spot, of course, just reserved for me. I'm privileged. Ooh, a parking spot. Ah. So I get out, and as I'm walking up to the broadcast building, I am confronted. Are you ready for this? This should not happen to a 60-year-old man. Okay, it should not do this because it could cause serious physical disablement, heart attacks, strokes, this kind of thing. But what had happened, I come around the corner, and now, folks, you got to understand. I did 25 years in the film and the television industry in California, and I've seen it all. But if you get to the point of being out of that environment and getting into a new environment, that's quiz. Okay, all right, fine. All right, Ken, that's cool. I'm just reading some of the Facebook posts that people are popping on there already. So anyway, I'm coming around the corner, and here stands three bombshell girls in Victoria's Secret underwear, lacy stuff. And I went, oh my God, I am not ready for this so early in the morning. So I do not know what the photo shoot was for. They were doing a photo shoot outside the building, I guess because they liked the idea and everything else. But one was topless. The other three, or the other two, had, you know, their little tighty whities on, if you will. And I don't know. I sort of had the feeling is what it was is a guerrilla shoot, to be honest with you. And what a guerrilla shoot is where you can go and film something at a location within a metropolitan area or whatever without permits, as long as you get in, do the shoot, and get out fast before the cops come. I did a couple of guerrilla shoots when I was doing some commercials in California, and one time I did get caught, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and we were doing this late night shot, and of course the cops came. Somebody was complaining because of the lights and everything else, so I got fined and had to pay a nice little payment. So in reality, what happened is I had to pay for the permits to do that, which cost me a nice chunk of money, but we got it done. But if you can get in and get the shoot done before the cops come, you get your footage, you put it in the can, and away you go. So they were outside, and I could tell it was pretty much a guerrilla shoot because everything was geared for a fast getaway, in a sense. And I don't think it was one of those stupid things that you see on YouTube or whatever, where you know, it's like pornographic or anything. It wasn't like that. It was very well done. These girls were very well made up, if you will. Good makeup, nice hairstyle. The lingerie that they were in was very classy, in my opinion. But then again, who am I? I'm rolling on the ground with a heart attack going, I don't need this in the morning. I don't need this in the morning. Even though it did jumpstart my day, there's no doubt about that. So thank you very much, whoever you were. So it did take me a few more minutes to get inside the building, of course. I was moving kind of slow at the junction. So that was an interesting little jolt to my system this morning. And it had left an indelible memory upon my brain. So you can't. I'm sorry, folks. I do love the ladies. There's no doubt about it. So now that is done. Also, there's a few things that I did do today. I did break the law in a sense, and we'll be getting into that a little bit more later on today. How bad the law was that I did break. But I still can't get those girls out of my head. I just can't do it. It's all there is. They were standing there. They're, you know, I think I should just shut the show down and go back outside and watch them do that photo shoot. To see three girls in lingerie like that on the steps of this building is just something that's, I go, wow, unbelievable. Hey, Jenny, how's it going? She says, hi, hello, hello, hello. Just waving to everybody. So anyway, there was a lot of things happening this week in the news. And through the course of my day, what I was doing is I'm trying to... what do you mean I'm going to jail? Jenny just told me I'm going to jail. What? No, my eyes were burned out of my head, but the criminal action that I did... okay, all right, let's do that. Because through the course of the day, a lot of the idiosyncrasies that are happening in our world. The comments are coming fast and strong this morning. Good morning, everybody. We're about 15 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock, and I'm Russell Mays. This is KUNV. Broadcast services of the UNLV right here on Las Vegas campuses for the UNLV. So anyway, what I did was I purchased an item. If you really look at it, it's probably about 6, maybe 8 inches long. Yeah, it's about that long, that kind of thing. And I got it without a permit. And I know I shouldn't have done this because when you buy things like this, what's this? Is the stream shut down? No, Scott, I'm streaming pretty good. Everybody's looking at me. I don't know. Scott just popped in and asked me if the stream was shut down. And maybe people aren't listening to me. Maybe they shut me off because of my violation. I don't know. I am there. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Scott, if you can't hear me, I'll text you a little bit later, but what should I do here? I'm not going to do anything. Anyway, totally, I can't multitask today. So anyway, I purchased the item and without permits. And I know that if I get caught with it, it's a possible jail sentence, maybe a fine, maybe a slap on the wrist, depending on how you do. So, I don't know if you're just listening to me on the air, you won't be able to see it, but if you're on Facebook looking at it, thanks, Jenny. Jenny can hear me. I'll show it to you. But what it is something that has totally made the left nuts. I mean, these people just, no matter what happens in our society, they find some of the stupidest things to go nuts about. That's the reason why I purchased this item without a permit. And this is the reason why I did it, and I brought it in on the show. So, the reason why I did it and I purchased it, what I'm going to do now, folks, I'm sorry the ones that are not on Facebook Live, but you won't be able to see it, but I'll try to describe it a little bit better. It's about, maybe about 6 to 7 inches long, and the material, how do I want to, let me just go ahead and show it to everybody. I know if you're standing up, please sit down because this is going to bring a huge shock to everyone. So if you're listening live or if you're watching on YouTube, the ones on YouTube are the ones that are going to be shocked by this because I did purchase this without permits now. And it is becoming a criminal act. And if you get caught with it, you are going to be in sheer violation of a few laws already. So, are you guys ready? I don't know if I should do this because this is really, really going to get me into trouble if I go ahead and show this to you. So, I know I'm building up the suspense of this. Here it comes, folks. Are you watching? The ones that are on Facebook get to see this right away, and then I'll describe it to you. Here it is. According to the liberal left, this, I have just broken the law, and I purchased it without a permit. Unbelievable. Can you imagine this? Carrying this around with you? I'm sorry, I already did it. I'm carrying it in my pocket. They're questioning me, why did I do this? And it's, it's right here. It's, what was I supposed to do? It was there. And I just, I had to do it a little on the sly side. I purchased through a window. I drove up to a window and ordered a soda. And they said, "Did you want one?" And I said, "Yes." And I paid extra for this. This thing, it's made of plastic and it's got a hole in it. And it goes through like a tube. Oh, man, I'm telling you. If the police come along, I am in deep doo-doo over this one. It's just unbelievable. I am so in much trouble now. I'm sitting here with contraband in the studio of UNLV. A good thing I'm down deep in the basement of the building because the cops can't break down the door, but they just might bring SWAT in if they're watching. See this folks right here. Look at that. Isn't that notoriously bad? This is going to destroy the world that we live in. No longer will you be able to drink your sodas while driving. No longer will you be able to drink your... Wait a minute here. Maybe they're going to come out with sippy cup lids for everybody. That's a good idea, sippy cup lids. So now when you go through and order a soda, you're going to get a little sippy cup on it so you can take a sip. And that's what they have at Starbucks and stuff now, sippy cups. Now, that brings up another thing. If they're banning straws, they better add the stir sticks too. Okay? Because the stir sticks are just shorter straws and they can get lodged better. And they're going to cause more problems too because people throw those things right away without just using them. They stir them up and throw them right out. Oh my God. God help this world. I'm telling you. This issue of outlawing straws and me walking up to this building and seeing 3 almost naked girls standing on the foyer, if you will, totally blows my mind. This world is so great and so crazy at the same time that you have somebody doing a photo shoot with 3 hotties, and then you have another not Elizabeth Warren, Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer outlawing straws in California. So I'm going, what a world we live in. You just got to appreciate the world we live in to actually be able to go to jail for owning a straw and yet getting my eyes burned out of my head for seeing these 3 hotties out there and in this nice lingerie. Nice lingerie, too. Okay. So anyway, it's been a great day so far. I'm telling you, it was just made my day. So anyway, what we're going to be getting into today, because a lot of this issues that I've been talking about have led me into a lot of, how do I want to say this? Strange areas of thought this week. And because I went into these areas of thought and trying to really break it down, took me into a realm of an existence that I didn't know existed, if you will. How do we do that? Who knows? The existence of hotties and plastic straws and twisted PC correctness out in the real world just is like, what is going on, people? Give me a break. So, for you, all those, somebody just asked me and said, what was the item that I got arrested for? What happened to it? See that? They took it away from me already. Oh, here it is. Just so you folks that are on Facebook that are doing a live video, this is the item that I almost got arrested for. See that? Isn't that really nice? Just bringing you up to speed on that. And yes, it's a straw. It's a nice one, though. It's, white with a red stripe down the side. And and they're actually thinking about going to paper. Think about this for an instance. If they go to paper straws, think about it, folks. Paper straws. They're going to dissolve in the liquids that you're going to be drinking. Okay. Then you're going to get the environmentalist crazy about it because what is paper made from? Trees. So now we're going to be cutting down trees to make your straws. That's cool. Can't we do that? We can definitely do that. We can definitely do that. There's no doubt. We can definitely go for it. So, cutting down trees for straws. I don't know. More on that in just a few moments. Just hang tight. I'm Russell Mays. This is KUNV. Be back in un momento.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life, and in every corner of America, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. The Army National Guard reacts to domestic operations in each of America's 54 states and territories, including Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, and the District of Columbia. Each state National Guard's unique domestic role is to act as the first line of defense in support of civil authorities in their state. The Guard's emergency responses include search and rescue missions for floods, combating wildfires, hurricane and tornado recovery, and the presidential inauguration. The Army National Guard. We are always ready. We are always there. And in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to nationalguard.com. Sponsored by the Nevada Army National Guard. Aired by the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Yes, folks. This is Russell Mays, and I am back at 26 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on a Saturday, the 28th. The month of July is almost gone. There's 3 little hotties outside the building doing a photo shoot. Straws have been banned and are illegal. You must have a permit to sell them. If you don't, you will be fined. The world has caused detriment to everybody. Why? I guess that's what the question is why? Why is all this happening? Why do there's so much that we have in this world, good and bad, that the mainstream media has a kitten for the last week over straws. And it's only California, to be honest with you. Okay, so then I'm okay good here in Nevada. Now, if I transport that straw across the state lines, I'm definitely, I've impeded the state laws, and I've also impeded the federal laws because I transport it over state lines. So that makes it a federal. So I'll be going to federal prison for a straw for importing illegal substances into the state of California. Good thing they don't have that problem over there for illegal substances. So, okay. So, getting to it, I have so much going on. You know, those girls just sent this whole show into a tizzy. It made my day. I can't stop talking about them. They were just, days of old when I was young and rambunctious. Now my eyes burn out of my head and I fall down in a heart attack when I see something like that. So, that being said, the straw thing is a California issue, and they want to save the world. Okay, so California has 9 million people. Los Angeles, roughly, maybe 10 or 12 million people. Let's just say 12 million people in the state of California. Let's just say. I could Google it and see how many there is, but I really don't care. But the point is, there's 7 billion people on this planet. And California has this narcissistic viewpoint of themselves that they are holier than thou than anybody else out there. And what's interesting about this is I lived out there for a long time. And I did buy into the narcissism that they were portraying. You have to or you die. Because they will eat their own. They always eat their own out there. Look what happened with the star of Trump. These people are out of their minds. And people, there was a brawl on there while they were replacing it of crazy people. So anyway, let's see what's going on here with the narcissism. The narcissistic state of California. Narcissism is self-centered. All they do is think about themselves, and everybody else is crazy. So that's pretty much a sums up what narcissistic is. All right. So I got to thinking about this. If you're a narcissist, and I'm going to be honest with you folks, most people that are in the media, myself included, is a narcissist. We think the world revolves around us. And I really despise those people that think that way, especially when they're associating with me, because the world does revolve around me. So just bear that in mind. So that's why I get irritated with these narcissists that are around me. They don't realize I'm the one that they should be revolving around. All right. Okay, fine. So anyway, the reason why I was coming out, I was thinking about a lot of things that is part of the vernacular out there in California. And one of them is, and a lot of people use this, and it's called fashionably late. Think about this. Fashionably late. And everyone goes, oh, that's okay. So you have a party at 6 o'clock, let's say. Nobody shows up until 7. But yet, before anybody comes in, they will park down the street watching the place to show up at to make sure they're not the first ones to show up at the party because they want to be fashionably late. So as time goes on, the party that was supposed to be scheduled at 6 really doesn't start going until 8. So you have 2 hours of narcissistic people that want to be the center of attention by being fashionably late. So they're all having a party outside the party, waiting to see who's going to be the first one in the house or the place of the party. So they can be fashionably late. And I really got thinking about that. And I went, oh my God, they really do think this way. A lot of people think this way. Oh, okay, if I'm late, oh, they'll think I'm fashionably late. But in reality, you're a narcissist and you're rude. If you think people want to wait on your butt to get there because you're special, I tell you now, folks, if my friends that are in California, if you're going to have a party, I would have a limit. If you show up, if the party's at 6 o'clock, and you show up at 5 to 6, you get in. But I would lock the doors at 6 o'clock with a sign saying, sorry, party started, all doors are barred, you can't get in, the group has started. That would stop a lot of them because they would get mad because they can't come to the party because they can't be fashionably late. Bar them, lock them out of the house, don't allow them in there. Put a big dog in the yard and bark at them or make some kind of an issue if they came in, like if the party's going on and there's music playing, and the people that are fashionably late walk through the door, stop everything. Turn the music off or down. Everyone stop dancing, everyone stop drinking and eating or whatever. And everybody turn and look at the people. And then judge them, saying, fashionably late. I see what you're wearing today. That's good. Okay, you can wear that. That's perfectly fine. And so being fashionably late is a good way to get people not to be fashionably late. If you embarrass them if they walk into the party and you get just make a big to-do of it. Oh my God, are you okay? Is everything all right? Do we need to call 911? You're here late. Why are you late? Oh, you had to feed the dog? Is that what it was? There was traffic on the road. You couldn't get a little bit earlier. Anyway, I digress, as they say. So, being fashionably late, but they think this is okay. So, here's another remedy I came up with. If you're fashionably late and your paycheck is not there on time, the paycheck people that write your check out for your work, they can say, I'm sorry, your paycheck is fashionably late. That's okay, isn't it? Or how about you call the power company up and say, I'm sorry, I know my power bill is due today, but since I'm going to be fashionably late with my payment, that'll be okay, all right? Let's see how they react about that. So, if you give all those other people the respect of your time for being on time with payments or your paychecks and demanding all this, you better be on time for a party and stop this fashionably late stuff. Blech. All right. So that's one of the issues that was, oh, goodness gracious. I don't know. It's just like courtesy for all, signs of selfishness, that kind of stuff. Something else that was brought up. Oh, there's just so much I got here. And we're about 20 minutes, well, actually, 24 minutes away from the top of the hour. Of course, I'm Russell Mays, and this is KUNV. I hope you're enjoying life out there already. Okay. Where do I want to go with this? How do I transition from naked girls on the doorstep of the building this morning, straws, and fashionably late, to politics? That's a hard transition to make. Unless you're Bill Clinton, because he did have a lot of naked girls in the Oval Office or any of his offices. So that might be a good transition in there, you know. That'll work, I guess. And how Hillary wouldn't even pay attention to that. It's okay for him to run around and do all that good stuff. So anyway, one of the issues that did come up, though, that was interesting to me was a lot of people in this country, especially the ACLU, or ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, they're narcissistic right there. These people think they're holier than thou, and they think whatever they do is right. These people are communists in my mind. But they have an issue with society also. They believe and they utilize this separation of church and state as a huge issue, and they're getting it wrong. The Constitution does not say anything about separation of church and state. This was just a terminology that was brought up over time. If you think I'm different on that, please do the research, kick it over to me. You can get on my website at radiorussell.net and shoot me an email through there if you want to, or just throw something on Facebook here and do it that way. But there's nothing in the Constitution that says separation of church and state. It does say life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Whatever that pursuit is, you have a right to pursue it. So if you believe that God is a giant spaghetti monster, that's perfectly fine. Spaghetti is good too. But if you believe the man is in control of your life and helps you along, that is good too. But don't get your knickers into an uproar when that is brought up, because this country was founded and built on Christian Judeo morals and living style. Without some form of moralistic ideals, you have chaos and everything is viable. So don't give me this separation of church and state. This country is a God nation. God, country, and guns, baby, I'm telling you right now. And if you want to live your life any way you want to, they don't have the right to take away your life. They don't have the right to take away your liberty. And they don't have the right to take away your ability to pursue happiness. The Constitution was written to keep the government from putting their laws on the people. The Constitution is written for what the government cannot do. A lot of people are misinterpreting, especially on the left. The youth nowadays are driving me nuts. They need to sit down and really start reading this stuff because they have twisted this viewpoint big time. And I hate to admit it, if you believe in the Russian collusion and all this kind of good stuff and junk that's out there, the youth is the key to this country's downfall. Because if you indoctrinate them young, these are the beliefs they will believe when they get old enough to run the country. So don't get me wrong on this. If the socialistic, Marxist, and fascist communists are in control of our schools, they will teach the young what those rules are, and that's what they will believe when they get old enough to run the country. Once we lose our freedom, then you will never get it back. You will literally have to annihilate the country. That's the reason why this country works so well. The concept of when we came over here for a free society to practice our religion as we see fit, that was the idea. That's why they came. That's why they suffered. That's why a lot of things happened. But that's what our country was built on. Never in the history of the world have people had the ability to have a clean slate to start something. So that's what our founding fathers did. They knew they had a clean slate. They knew by history that all other governmental systems did not work. And they put together one of the best systems out there. Everything, because of the way our government is put together, has given us everything. When was the last time Russia put out on the market of a great new technological advance that they found? Japan is doing really good in new innovations coming out. But they were once a dictatorship. And now they follow the philosophies of capitalism, free innovation, and their society is taking off. As a matter of fact, their educational system is a lot better, too. Is because they get out there and they teach their kids. They don't allow their kids to run rampant in their schools. They'll beat you with a paddle. I remember growing up, I had a paddle hanging from the wall, and I had seen a couple of kids been used on it before. So anyway, so there's so much that I wanted to get to, but just to let you know that the Americans in this country have built this country based on Christian Judeo values. That look at, if you let us be free, we'll follow your basic laws. Do not break into somebody's house. Do not kill them. Do not, run away with them. This is the 10 Commandments. Do not commit adultery unless there's 3 women standing outside your building here, half naked in, skinny outfits. So, God, do I love that. That was so great. So anyway, so as long as we follow those rules, we can do whatever we want to. But that's going away. Slowly but surely, they're chipping away at it. Because let's face it, if you look at Bernie Sanders, he's a what is word is that where you promote your thing. Look, the lights just went off in the studio. Lights on, lights off. Ah, the lights are on. Motion sickness. See, it doesn't detect my mouth yakking away, but it will detect other things. So anyway, Bernie Sanders is a socialist. He's a professed socialist. But if you think about it, all people that are socialists want socialism in society, but they don't want to partake in that socialism. So if you think about it, if Bernie Sanders became president, he would try to implement socialism in our society where everybody would have free schools, free health care, job for everybody, a house for everybody. You don't have to work for it. You just sit back and it gets all handed to you. But they need somebody to pay for it. So if you're working there and everything is a wash, so you don't have to work hard at it, so everything becomes poor quality, and all the money goes to the government, Bernie Sanders, who wants to be in charge telling you how to live your life. I mean, I hate to admit it, Paul Ryan is that same way. Thank God he's leaving the Congress. I mean, the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, please give me a break. The man is retiring. Granted, his wife is in one of the lobby firms that are making millions of dollars for his family. But he will retire with a $175,000 pension fund for the rest of his life. He's 48 years old. He is trying to, or has submitted a proposal to raise the retirement age to 70. What is this? He's 48. He's retiring? I don't think so. So think about that. So when they try to put their laws on you and you get mad and you want to stand out there and protest and jump up and down, what do you think the socialists are going to do? Do you really think that they're going to give you that free education? Do you really think they're going to do that? I'll tell you something. Look it up. Russia and some of these communist countries will say they will have aptitude tests like we do. You take the abs, fabs, or whatever. That's for the military. Sorry about that. And they'll tell you what you're good at. So if you're an artist, but you're a good mathematician, you will not be able to be an artist. They will demand that you be a mathematician, and that's the only thing you can do. Otherwise, they'll throw you in jail. That's what you're looking forward to for a socialistic country. So, anyway, moving right along, what else do we have going on the list? Judicial terror. That's another issue that I want to get into, but it's probably going to have to be next week. Okay, here's something else that was brought up through all my research and looking at this. A lot of these people, Straws, for instance. Oh, yeah. For the ones that are just popping on to Facebook Live and checking it out, I violated a criminal law. I went and got myself a straw today. So, see the straw? This is the violation of the law in California. So, if I take this straw to California, I can be thrown in jail and fined for that. So, and it's made out of plastic, too. Ooh, baby. Oh, my God, plastic. Oh, the world has come to an end. Oh, the horrors, the horrors. Oh, I don't know. So help me. Help me, spaghetti god. So that's also something else interesting. When I was in the service, I never once heard a soldier in a foxhole get down on his knees and say, "Dear spaghetti god, please save me. Put a meatball in sauce, a little Parmesan cheese, Take me away from all this. All right, enough of that. So, but our youth nowadays wants the corporations to save themselves, how do you want to put that? Save them from themselves. And we'll continue with that in just a quick moment. You are listening to KUNV. I'm Russell Mays. Be back in uno momento. We are listener-supported 91.5, the Rebel HD2, KUNV, Las Vegas, broadcast services of the UNLV. I'm Russell Mays. Thank you very much for everybody that's joining me at the rebelhd2.com. Also those on Facebook that are watching me live, even though it's really scary to see this ugly mug on your screen. But that's cool. You'll have to deal with it too. I do want to throw out a huge thank you to that guerrilla film crew that was out front of the building this morning with those three lovely ladies in almost nothing, skimpiest. It was had to be Victoria's Secret underwear. It was great. It was unbelievable. To come around the corner and see that, I actually literally had a heart attack. You can't do that to somebody old like me. You can't be walking down the street and see something like that. But then again, this is Vegas. Okay, so where were we at? We were talking about the youth and how the companies want to save them. They want to, oh my God, if you burn yourself on a cup of coffee, a hot cup of coffee, please give me a hot cup of coffee, and you get burned, you're going to sue everybody. And you're wondering why there's more lawyers in the phone book than there are doctors nowadays. Everybody's suing everybody for the littlest things. Also, that is the same reason why healthcare is so expensive nowadays. The doctors want to do a good job, and a lot of medical doctors are great. These hospitals are fantastic. But because of one or two stupid people out there, they'll want to sue for every little thing. If the doctor does wrong, okay, that's fine. But if they have to run 4,000 tests because you will sue them if they forgot to do something, that's why it costs so much now. So it's just unbelievable what people are suing for nowadays. My God, Mandalay Bay is suing the victims of the Vegas shooting. Wait a second here. This guy shot from your windows and you're shooting the victims that got shot. And they're doing it as a deterrent to keep the victims from suing Mandalay Bay for allowing it to happen. This is how nuts our society has become. I will guarantee you Mandalay would have been on top of the world if they stepped up to the plate and said, look it, this is what happened. Let me see what we can do to make it right. And go out and take care of the victims. They don't have to pay them millions of dollars or anything else. Cover their health care. Cover their funeral expenses. Make it a little bit easier. For the amount of money they're going to spend on lawyers. Let's put it in context here. I was in the military. at the time that I was serving, if I was killed in the service, a death benefit of $25,000 was paid to the family. If I was killed in combat, I think it was like double, something like that, in hazardous conditions. The amount of money of, let's just say, $50,000 for, what was it, 58 people or something like that. Let's just say 60 to make it a round number. That would be roughly, probably, what, 30 million? And Mandalay Bay couldn't pony up that kind of money to help out the victims. Instead, they're going to pay 30 million. These are just rough numbers. Don't get me on the numbers. I'm just going off the top of my head on this. To pay to lawyers to keep them from suing. No wonder they're going to take 58 million or 58 people. That's just the ones that were killed. And they're going to turn around and try to sue them for 10 million each. Now you're talking huge numbers. This is what people don't think through their actions. People don't want to take responsibility for their actions. You know, if those pretty little girls out there on the doorstep and it was a guerrilla shoot, they knew what they were doing. They were all dressed up, nice makeup, very well defined, very attractive girls, almost butt naked. Give me a heart attack. But if the cops came and they were arrested, they knew it was their action. This is what they were not supposed to do without permits, but if they got the permits and that kind of thing. So if you take responsibility for your actions, a lot of this won't happen. And that's what's happening now with our youth. They don't want to take responsibility for their actions, so they want companies to be responsible for them. If you allow the companies to be responsible for your actions, then you have become a slave to the system, and then you won't have any freedom. Which brings me to another issue. My brain was really twisted this week. It really was. So, if you look at the participation trophies now, everybody wins. That's not true. If you're in a competition and you're first across that line, you should be honored in some way because you tried the hardest to achieve the winning status. Okay? But nowadays, it's, everybody gets something because they crossed the line. What if we did that in the Olympics? No more bronze, no more gold, no more silver medals. Just, okay, you participated. Here's your participation medal. How fast would the Olympics die? We are based in a competitive society. We compete against ourselves all the time. Can I work harder? Can I go farther? Can I make that extra buck? That's what it's all about. That's how we strive to live. You take that away from us, then we become radio announcers. So, anyway, I looked at it like this. If you get into a situation where your participating award, you're a loser. So there are no winners. Everybody is a loser. All I know is we need to do something about our world. And last note on that, when the left is always screaming and hollering, well, Europe is doing this, Europe is doing that. I hate to tell you folks, we left Europe because we hated the way they did things. Why would you want to go back to that? I'm Russell Mays, of course. What a fast show this was. What a great day to see those almost naked women out in front there. You notice how they got worse as time went on? They were in their panties and stuff, and now they're half naked on the steps by the end of the show. Love to see the ladies like that. Love to see it. So anyway, once again, we are listener supported 91.5, the Rebel HD2, KUNV, Las Vegas, broadcast services of UNLV. I'm Russell Mays. I'm going to say bye-bye to all my live friends on Facebook. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye to all the friends listening on the Rebel HD2. You take care now. Bye-bye.
Alternative radio, only heard on the Rebel. HD2, KUNV, Las Vegas.